So, my girlfriend almost burnt the apartment down like Jack did. Wait, did I tell her this is gonna be a spoiler video? Well, now you know.
But behind closed doors, I'm a fool for your love.
Yeah, so that happened. But don't trip, we're gonna get to that in a minute. Hey, what's up, guys? I'm your host, CP. Thanks a lot for stopping by. Today, we're gonna be talking about this is season 2, episode 1 of Father's Advice. So, where we left off last season, at the point where Randall was looking to adopt, Kevin was on his way to New York to get his girl, and then got an offer for a show in LA. And Kate is looking to sing. So, in this episode, it starts off as the Big Three's 37th birthday. Rebecca and Jack are sitting down at this restaurant, and they're going to explain to the kids what's going on with their relationship. They explain that, they're kind of going to give themselves some space for, a few days, and the kids are not having it, absolutely upset about it. So Kevin is in LA, and he's doing this part in this show, and as he's leaving the show, he's FaceTiming his ex-wife / current girlfriend, and they're just talking about how they miss each other. Kate is getting ready to sing, and so she has this outfit on, and she's in the apartment with Toby and is asking Toby's advice, what do you think about this outfit? And Toby's like, oh, you look amazing, you look fantastic, you're going to blow all those girls out the water, don't even worry about it. And then in walks Kevin. Somehow he has a key to their apartment. What ends up coming out is that they actually gave Kevin a key, but it was supposed to be used for emergency situations. Anyway, so as Kevin walks in, Kate asks him, what do you think about my outfit? And Kevin's like, oh, you look great, but are you sure you don't, I'm not trying to be too loud? And all of a sudden you got Kate who's got this self-conscious feeling now, like, oh, I do have a second outfit. And what she ends up doing is changing her outfit, taking Kevin's advice and completely ignoring Toby's advice. So Toby's getting pissed. He's pissed off right now. The next scene is that we're at Randall's house, and he's in the kitchen, and his head is just all in the clouds. He's really excited about adopting, and take a look at Beth as she walks in, and it looks like something's quite off. Like, that kind of sense where she's not gonna tell you something, but she's gonna put on that mask, that fake smile, and be like, yeah, ha ha ha. No, you can look at Beth and tell that something not quite right. What happened? What did you do, Randall? What did you do? Anyway, so then, kind of flashes takes to the scene where Kate is sitting in this audition, of course, in her second outfit that, the one that she had as her backup. And, she's kind of looking around and seeing all these skinny girls who are going to audition, and all of her self-confidence is at an all-time low. And, she also has a low self-esteem, and you can kind of see all these things taken into effect. She ends up getting up and leaving from the audition, didn't even try out. We flash back into the past with Jack, who is now staying with Miguel. And so, he's really feeling alone, kind of talking to Miguel like, yeah, she's going to call, don't even trip. I'm not even going to be here for a long time, so don't even make a bed, don't give me no covers, nothing like that. Don't trip, like, I'm not going to be here. So, she's about to call like any minute. He picks up the phone, make sure it's on, make sure the vibrate's on, so that he can hear it, standing just really, really anxious. And it's not really getting that phone call. At that time, he's not getting a phone call. So then we're taken to the scene with Randall and Beth, and they're in this meeting with either this counselor or social worker to talk about this whole adoption thing. Randall, whose head is just like in the clouds, is really excited about it, is telling them that he's all good for it already. They're prepared and everything. And Beth is in the chair like, yeah, he's ready. He wants to adopt. And the social worker is like, oh, sometimes in situations you have a person who's a dragger and the draggee. So Beth kind of goes off on the social worker, gives her a piece of her mind like, oh, what would really be awesome if you had a baby who dad just abandoned him. Oh, what would be even better? If you had a baby that was left on the stoop of a firehouse. Oh, that would be absolutely perfect. Gets up, walks out. And Randall's kind of stuck there like, at least we have like a really honest, open relationship. We can do these kind of things in public. The next scene is Beth is, sitting on the back of a car and she's fake smoking. Yeah, because I guess that's her little place of zen where it's like, don't come into my box with no crap. I'm fake smoking here. I'm unwinding. I don't want to hear no crap. So Randall walks up to her, he leans on the back of the car. He starts, fake smoking too. And, they start to chop it up about, kind of what's going on, and that she explains, you never came to me about this. You never asked me how I felt about it. Randall's just like, you know what, you're right, I didn't. I can see that, you're not really on board, but you need to get your head around it. And then Beth was like, and walks off. So the next, or back in the past with Jack, and he's staying at Miguel's house. And of course, as time is moving on, he's feeling more and more alone. He's not getting a phone call from Rebecca. He's kind of just, feeling really down in the dumps. So then we go to the next scene where Randall is actually going to talk to his mom about, kind of how did she feel about him being adopted, when they were in the hospital, when she was in the hospital. And Rebecca explains that, at first she wasn't on board. It was something where Jack was he just kind of forced it on her. And it was something that she just kind of had to accept. She felt that Jack was just forcing this stranger onto her. And, that was something that was really hard for her to accept. But, in the long run, that child, that stranger, ended up becoming her life, who ended up becoming Randall. So you see a bit of the appreciation for how she feels about him currently, how he ended up turning out. Next, we're taken to a scene where Beth is in this park, and in the scene walks William. So in my mind, I was like, what is going on? Maybe this is a memory. Maybe this is her conscience. Her place of peace. Because in this conversation, William talks about how this was his favorite spot. Uses this place to unwind, and it looks like this is kind of the same thing that Beth is doing. William is mentioning that he is very proud of Randall and who he's become, and that he's this great person. But at the end of the scene, it did end up turning out to be a memory because she was sitting in a park bench alone. So next, we're taken to a scene where it's Kevin, Kate, and Toby, and Kevin has just bought out this whole restaurant, this nice, high, fancy restaurant, and this is something that Toby, was kind of thankful for, but, he was like, well, he kind of suggested it, so, all right, well, I guess let's kind of go with it. Let's see where it goes. So as they're walking into the restaurant, Kate explains to Toby that the audition went great. I think it went well. It'll be fine. Come on, let's go eat. So as they sit down, Toby makes a toast like, hey, I want to toast to you for this audition. You're amazing, and I'm sure you'll get the part. You'll get the lead. She kind of puts her shot glass down and was like, yeah, so I didn't audition. And Toby was like, what? Like, why? He was like, I just got up, I left, I didn't even do it. In comes Kevin into the conversation like, yeah, it was just something that she just felt like doing. She didn't want to hurt your feelings. That's why she did it. And, ends up coming out that Kate had told Kevin but lied to Toby about it. So Toby at this point is pissed, like out of his mind pissed. So he gets up, he just walks off. It finally clicks with Toby that, So he gets up, walks off, and is now sitting outside of the restaurant. So outside of this restaurant, Kevin comes outside to talk to Toby. Toby gives him a piece of his mind, like, look, you coddling her, you doing stuff that you're not even supposed to do. You're a brother, that's it. I'm a fiance. I'm supposed to be doing these kind of things. You're out here talking about paying for dinner. That's not your job to do that. So they're arguing. Kate comes up and is like, I'm a grown woman. I'm 37 years old. I can do whatever I want. I can take care of myself. And she's about to walk off. They're like, where are you going? Kate's like, you know what? I'm going to go audition for that part. And I don't want you to follow me. So she leaves, gets in the car, leaves. And Kevin and Toby are just kind of sitting there like, we need to follow her. Toby gets in Kevin's car because Toby and Kate came together. So then we're taken to the scene. Beth is sitting at the kitchen table. It's late at night, she just kind of looked like she's just exhausted. And Randall comes down and comes to talk to her. And Beth is just like, if you want to do this, fine. You're right. This is, me and you, what we have, it's a perfect relationship. If you want to risk that and bring in, and adopting a child, somebody else into the family, let's go ahead and do it. Let's adopt somebody who's like a troubled child. We'll give them the love and, hopefully they can turn out the way you want them to turn out. Let's put our all into this. So now we're at this audition. Kate gets on stage and starts to sing, and almost immediately she's cut off. And the producer's like, all right, that's it. That's enough. I've heard enough. And Kate is feeling like, oh, well, I'm up here to sing and you're not going to dismiss me because of my size and I can keep up with any of these girls. And the producer walks up to her and points to one of the ladies on stage and says, here, sing this song, 5, 6, 7, 8. She starts singing. Of course, she sounds amazing. He signals her to stop. And he tells Kate that would have been your backup. You have good pitch, but you don't have any range. So I don't really care what your size is. That's the person who has the position. And Kate's like, oh, okay, And so during this time, outside of this audition, Toby and Kevin are having a heart-to-heart, like, look, you got to back off. You got to, relax on the reins. And Kevin tells Toby that, you know what, you do have to pull back some, but there is some that you'll be needed for. And so they have this understanding. And right at that point, Kate comes out and she was like, you know what, I didn't get the part, but it's okay. It's not because of my size, it's because of my capacity, my ability to sing. She's like, you know what, I'm ready for a drink. So Kevin is like, you know what, it's been a long night. I got some things I got to do in the morning. I'll leave y'all to it. Y'all go ahead and do y'all's thing. And he walks off. And so, as he's walking, I guess, to this restaurant, there's his wife that kind of just pops in from New York because she wasn't able to make it because, she had to take care of her mom. Ends up surprising Kevin. Kevin's all happy, cheesy, and whatnot. The next scene is Randall and Beth. They're on the computer and they're scrolling through what looks like potential candidates for kids that they would like to adopt. So then we're taken to the past where Jack is sitting on Miguel's couch and suddenly there's a knock on the door and it's Rebecca. He opens the door and Rebecca just kind of starts venting to him, about how she's feeling and about this whole situation. And Jack kind of admits that, you know what, there's a secret that I need to tell you. I've been holding it from you for a long time. I'm an alcoholic. I'm a drunk. I'm drunk now. I've been drunk for the last week. I've been drunk for the last, umpteen years. And before I go back into that house, our house, I need to get a handle on this. I don't want to go back an alcoholic. Shuts the door in her face. And so, he's kind of just standing there. And then there's another knock on the door. And, of course, it's Rebecca. And she's saying, look, get in the car. Even though you have a problem, this is something that we're going to get through together. We're going to work through these issues together. And don't worry about it. Everything's going to be fine. Just get in the car. So they get in the car, helps him in the passenger seat. And, they're looking at each other. And she tells him, like, look, you know what, don't worry. We're going to get through this. Everything's going to be okay. So the next scene, Rebecca's in the car. Nobody's in the passenger seat. She's kind of like out of it. And in the back seat, there's a bag of evidence with like the police report. And in that bag is a wedding ring, a wallet, a watch. Looks like to be Jack's belongings. And so the next scene, we're on Kevin, who's kissing young Sophie, and his leg's in the cast. So it kind of lets us know that it's been a few months, time-wise, since Jack was staying with Miguel. And so, the next scene, it cuts to what looks to be Miguel's house, and the kids, Randall and Kate, are sitting on his couch, and he's like, I'll get you some pillows, and they're just crying, they're sobbing. And the next scene, it goes towards Rebecca, who's now in the car. It's starting to slow down, and she looks out of the window, and it's a red mailbox that says Pearsons, which is, their last name. And she just starts sobbing, and it zooms out, and the house is burnt down. And so we're kind of left there like, what? Jack, I guess died in this house fire of their house. Overall, I think that this was a really good episode. This Is Us is a great series. I honestly thought that they were going to talk about how Jack died at the end of last season. I thought that would have been a great season finale for season 1, but that's how they opened up season 2. It was definitely something unexpected. I thought that, because he was alcoholic, he may have died of like drunk driving or something along those lines. Turns out he died in a house fire. But, I think that overall, I would give this episode I'd say a 9.5. This was a really good episode. I really like it. I can't wait to see the direction and how this is going to go. But I'm interested to know, what do you guys think about this? Did y'all like this episode? Not like it? Or how y'all think Jack died? Y'all think he burnt the house down? Or y'all think it was an accident? Definitely comment down below and let's talk about it. If y'all like this video, definitely like and subscribe to help me navigate the direction of this channel. I definitely appreciate y'all for watching. This is Commentary with CP, and I'll catch you all in the next one. Peace.